Hey everybody, PSW60, back for more of Turok 2, and I am not alone today.
Hi, I'm Temin _ Dump. I can't say I'm familiar with this game, but what I've seen of it so far does look interesting. Gosh. So, at some point we went from hunting dinosaurs to being in some kind of sewer system. Is that what I'm seeing here?
Yeah, right now we are in the bowels of the Primagen's lightship. The Primagen being the alien monster that has auto turrets everywhere.
Those are the auto turrets you were warning me about. Okay.
Yeah, they're randomly all over the place, even in his ventilation shafts.
What? Alright, first off, why do you need, this high-tech security in your ventilation system that just kind of seems extraneous?
It does. I'd guess maybe he's paranoid. I don't know whether to say that or maybe pat him on the back for being one of the few evil masterminds that bothers to make sure that the ventilation shafts aren't just kind of easy access to his base.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't know what to say, because he wasn't exactly wrong. You are crawling around the vent system, so he was correct to do that, so I can't entirely fault him now that I think about it.
Yeah, this was also the only way into this area.
Oh boy. Oh,
also,
God.
Those red lasers under me are instant death.
Oh, well, yeah, that just makes sense.
And there's wind pushing you around, so that's, it's easy to fall on.
Okay. So, oh god, this is making me think of Half-Life, where you have to turn on the huge fan and it just blows you into like just a boarded up ceiling that you have to smash through. It's a weird thing, being carried by fans, I guess.
Does Half-Life also get you stuck on the wall like this?
It's possible. You do kind of stick to the ceiling until you break it. I don't know, it's weird. I don't think... Something about that doesn't seem right.
There we go.
Alright. Hey.
I have honestly never played Half-Life. Well, no, I take that back. I've played maybe the first 4 or 5 minutes of Half-Life as a kid before my friend just kind of grabbed the mouse and said, no, you're doing it wrong, let me show you.
Oh, what a shame. Oh, auto turrets. I see what you mean now. Oh my god, just damage out of nowhere, and it doesn't seem fair, man.
Yeah, you'll hear that little sound effect, so you know there's one that's about to shoot you. Hopefully you're facing the right direction when it happens.
Right? So this is... I'm assuming you're aiming with the analog stick on the N64, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I imagine that wouldn't have the greatest turning speed either. So if you're not facing the right way, you're kind of going to take damage until you can maneuver yourself in such a way that you can actually see the thing.
That's pretty accurate, yeah. Like how you're seeing me turn here is the max turning speed.
Oh, jeez. God, I love how the frame rate drops whenever there's an explosion on screen too. That's like such an N64 thing to happen.
I'm trying to fight the wind to get that health. And there's no more wind. Finally. Right. The second you get out of the vent.
Well, I guess that's okay. No more wind problems, I guess. Uh-oh.
And now we get actual enemies thrown in, finally.
Is that just a guy with a wheel for a lower body? Is that what I'm seeing there?
Yes.
Okay.
Also he has 4 eyes.
Well, I mean, for some reason that wasn't the part I noticed, but okay.
I was really also expecting there to be an auto turret dropping right behind that teleporter, but didn't this time.
Well, yeah, game developers in the 90s, man, they weren't afraid to put horrendous, mean traps in to get you, I guess.
No, especially not at this point in the game. This is level 6 out of 6.
Oh, we're on the final level. Wow. I came in at such an awkward time.
You came in when we got a full arsenal, at least.
Yeah, alright. Okay.
Well, nearly full arsenal. There's one gun we haven't gotten yet.
Oh. Is it the BFG equivalent for this game, or?
Yes.
Oh, alright.
They're not particularly shy about how they named it. It's just called the Nuke.
Oh. Well, with a name like that, who needs subtlety, I guess?
Right? I can't say it's better than the BFG, because honestly, comparing the two, I kind of like the BFG a little better.
Well, I can't compare because I haven't seen it yet. Gosh. Now I'm just thinking of other N64 FPSs. This entire series, there were 3 of them, right? On the N64?
3 and a 4th one that was all multiplayer.
Okay. How does it compare to, say, like, GoldenEye, for example?
I like the multiplayer in GoldenEye better.
Uh-huh.
But I like the single player in this one better.
Yeah, it seems like, well, obviously there's a huge variety in the arsenal, just compared to other things I've seen. Yeah, I didn't actually own GoldenEye until like a couple of years ago. That's kind of weird, because it's like the classic everyone has, at least in my mind anyway. But I mean, before that I had Duke Nukem 64 and, of course, Doom 64, but, you know, obviously those were less advanced engines.
Yeah, but I had both of those too.
Yeah.
All I can remember of Duke Nukem was that it was not quite as good as the PC version.
No, it wasn't. Well, I mean, it's hard to say. It did have interesting things that weren't in the PC version, like the plasma cannon, which was great. You could, like, charge that thing up and... Oh, God, what are you doing to this guy? Hey.
Stunning him with electrolysis, and then shooting an explosive drill into his skull.
Alright.
It's the most humane thing I had.
I guess so. I mean, technically the brain, well, at least the human brain, can't actually feel anything, so technically dying that way shouldn't hurt that much, I would imagine.
Also, there's a guy sneaking up behind me.
Oh, hey, where'd he come from?
You could hear him, he was making that vacuum cleaner sounding noise.
Oh,
but
okay.
he hadn't spawned in yet, or at least hadn't made it around the corner until I killed that other guy on the right.
That's the sneakiest vacuum I've ever, I've ever seen.
I can honestly say that I have never had my vacuum cleaner sneak up on me like that.
Well, I don't have a witty retort to that. I'm afraid. What? Whoa. Calm down, Turok.
That's what you get when you get an extra life.
He has to reaffirm his existence every time you pick up a life?
Yes.
Okay, alright.
That or it's the only thing he can say.
Oh, he's kind of like a caveman kind of thing. Very limited vocabulary. Is that the only voice? Is that the only voice dialogue from Turok in this game?
Capacitor found.
Yes.
Oh, so that literally is the only thing you can say. All right.
Yeah, he does come up in the third game, and from what somebody in the thread was telling me, he does say more things at the start of the third game, but I really don't remember the third game at all.
Are you shooting a ghost, man? What's going on here?
He was cloaked.
Ah, okay.
Ion capacitor
Yeah, just a bunch of explosions going on, and you're taking damage, and I don't understand what's happening. but okay, it makes sense.
A few of the enemies... Thank you, door.
Uh-oh. Is it on a timer?
It's on a timer. It's not... I'm not locked in with enemies or anything, I just took too long getting to the door.
Oh, okay.
So I just have to back up and reapproach it.
Well, there you go.
Some of the enemies, I think 2 of them just can cloak.
Alright, well...
And it just does the kind of Predator style refractory light thing.
Right.
Where you can kind of see the background through them, but it's slightly distorted, so you still know that something's there.
Yeah, there's like a blurry silhouette of what should be the enemy. Oh, what is this, the reactor?
This is one of 4 reactors.
Oh, okay.
Although this one's a little bit better guarded than the other ones because it's got a pool at the bottom, covered in lasers that will kill you, and just in case the lasers don't kill you, there is water at the bottom that's more or less polluted to the point that it should kill you, but we picked up something in an earlier level that it doesn't do anything to us anymore.
Oh, okay. I can't help but wonder, have you ever played Duke Nukem Manhattan Project before?
No, was that the side-scroller one?
Yeah, it was. But what I'm getting at is, occasionally in some levels there were lasers that would instant kill you, and whenever you would touch them with, like, your baby toe, you would just turn into chunky gibs, and I can't help but wonder if that happens to Turok when he hits the lasers.
Since we're seeing things through his eyes, I don't know what happens to him.
I mean, well, back to Half-Life, I'm pretty sure you could see your gibs whenever you died in a, giving capacity. But whatever. I guess it doesn't really matter.
You can see the enemy's gibs in this, so I would assume that Turok gibs.
Alright, that's good.
I mean, everything else does.
It's good that he's able to gib. Good on him. I'm proud of him.
It's taken years of practice, but he finally learned how.
Yeah. You don't learn that in one day. You gotta practice makes perfect.
Well, we can leave the comical death trap area now that we've swapped out all the crystals in that.
Yeah, that was like some Mission Impossible stuff.
Believe it or not, I've still never seen the first movie of those. I was told that was probably the best of them.
I'm not in any position to recommend movies because I hardly watch them ever. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I probably watched them way too much. There's the turret dropping behind the teleporter.
Well, at least you had to jump on that one. So, are these teleporters taking you to different maps or different areas of the same map?
Yes to both instances.
Alright.
Most often, I don't know how that's not hurting me.
Wacky hitboxes, I guess.
Yeah. Most often it's taking you to a different area or a different map completely, but in some instances like this, it took us to a different area of a previous map.
Okay, alright.
What we're in now is the main area of the ship. Also, that guy turned invisible after we killed him.
Well, not the best strategy, but he tried at least, I guess.
Yeah. The main area is just where you come in at. In there is one of the 6 keys we need to be able to fight the last boss. Just in case I haven't said what those keys do yet earlier in any videos.
Alright.
But we can't unlock that until we find 4 switches. What we were down was one of the 4 wings of this ship, and each wing has a switch to shut down 1/4 of that force field.
Oh man, this is an extensive level then.
Turok 2's levels are huge.
Yeah, it kind of seems that way. Oh boy.
This is... I want to say maybe the second biggest, if not the biggest. It's kind of a tough call between this one and another level called Lair of the Blind Ones.
Alright.
This one, at the very least, kind of changes up the locations as you go through it. So, like, I mean, the teleporter looks the same, but the architecture that's on the walls and the various tunnels that we're walking through at least look different. Lair of the Blind Ones, for the most part, looks about the same the whole way through.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, there's a couple of different segments, but you're pretty much always going to see caves and other caves.
Oh, this guy's giving you the business.
I'm just making him dance and then using the chain gun equivalent.
Oh my god.
And if you heard it during all the chain gun fire, there was an auto turret somewhere that dropped down.
Uh-oh. Oh,
and it's behind me.
You picked the wrong direction. Oh no.
50-50 shot.
Could be worse, I guess. Oh, wait.
Oh, now that one's on.
Oh, alright. That guy was sneaky. Alright, that's pretty neat.
It just makes such cool patterns as it flies over.
Yeah, it does.
It's got some weird pathing, but it's also frequently glitchy. The way it's supposed to work is it has to find... whatever you're shooting has to have, like, some degree of intelligence. So if it's not smart enough, the gun can't see it. So, like, dinosaurs, like regular dinosaurs, it can't tell are there, because they're just not smart enough for it to pick up on. The other thing, though, is that if it doesn't hit them in the head, it won't do any damage.
Oh, that's... well, that kind of sucks, but... I mean, it kind of just looks like it does whatever it wants, though. It's an interesting-looking weapon.
Yeah, it'll just kind of fizzle out if it doesn't hit their head. And these guys are hiding in the walls now.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they've heard of you infiltrating their ship, and they're just, like, terrified now at this point.
They've also got ammo stuffed behind them.
Well, I mean, that's what you use monster closets for. You gotta hide the ammo as well as monsters.
Want to make sure this dancing guy's stunned.
Ooh.
There's a lot of different ways to dismember stuff in this game.
That's crazy.
It's impressive for the N64.
Yeah, I was gonna say. That's, I remember, I just keep making all these references to other games, sorry. But before Duke Nukem Forever came out, they were, like, showing off that you could dismember the bodies and, like, well, look, you could shoot the pig cop's head off, like it was a huge deal, but they had that down, you know, back in Turok 2, I guess.
Generally speaking, in this game, if it's a limb, you can shoot it off.
Nice.
Also, this is another gun that locks onto stuff from further away, so even though I can't see him, the gun can.
Alright, that's useful.
Unfortunately, he saw me, so... yeah.
Am I crazy? Was that like some ragdoll physics?
It seems that way. I can't imagine they'd have animated it.
Yeah, it seemed too floppy to be intentionally animated that way.
You can't interact with them after they're done, like Dark Souls enemies or anything like that. You can't throw the ragdolls around, but
right.
I guess they did have some amount of physics back this far.
That's crazy, man. I don't associate, physics with games from the 1990s at all.
Neither would I. And it's possible that they just hand-animated everything. I can't imagine hand-animating a flopping corpse, though.
Yeah, truly the mystery for the ages. Until somebody actually knows what happened.
Just to make you more paranoid, you saw those little things that were in the wall back in that vent?
Uh-huh.
Those are the things that sometimes pop out as enemies.
Oh. Okay.
So if you haven't gone through the level and memorized the locations yet, anything could be an enemy.
Oh boy.
And this is one of the factories where the Primagen is making those... I don't know what they call them. Squid people?
Squeeple is the term they prefer to go by, I believe.
Squeeple? Okay.
Yeah.
I do need to be sensitive to their preferred terms as I'm shooting them in the face.
Yeah, I mean, you're killing them. You could at least show a little bit of kindness.
Yeah, they deserve a death with dignity. And minor electrical seizures.
Well, Alright.
And that thing is quite literally a circular saw that we're throwing around.
Awesome.
That boomerangs back to us.
Oh, infinite ammo. Nice.
Yep. And I'm about to do something dumb.
Uh-oh.
I usually use the rockets on these guys because they're big and they have a lot of health, but I figured I'd try a different weapon. Just to, show them off a bit.
Right, okay.
And I thought he was dead for whatever reason, but no, he just decided to cloak. And then run around on fire.
Oh, man. Oh, God, this guy, he's not having any of this.
No, he's also not on fire anymore, and I don't have the best of aim in general.
Well, I mean, you do have to use the N64 analog stick. What was this emulated, or was it on an actual N64 when you played this?
No, this one's on an actual N64.
So, oh man, you had to use the actual N64 analog stick too. Those things are rough.
To make it even more fun, it's the original controller that came with my N64.
Oh man, so is the analog stick all loose and janky now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, those things. I very rarely come across controllers that don't have the loose stick, and it's really annoying to work with.
Wartime doors.
Oh, great. That crystal floating up in the air is really bothering me, and I don't know why.
Oh, we'll be picking it up very shortly.
Yeah. Good. It doesn't deserve to float there anymore. I don't know.
Turok's levels, at least for 1 and 2, greatly like to kind of backtrack around themselves and circle around themselves.
Right.
That was not an effective hiding place.
No. It's kind of surprising that they can even fit in a hole that size.
It's like what happens when you accidentally shrink clothes in the laundry.
Wow, okay. Alright.
I don't know how they get bigger again. Miracle Grow? Is Miracle Grow still a thing?
Maybe they're shrinky dinks. You just add water and they expand.
That works.
Shrinky dinks? Is that what those things are called?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm also about to do something else dumb, but we're not going to find out about it in this video.
Oh no.
At the beginning of the level, at the beginning of all the levels in Turok 2, you get various missions that you have to finish before it'll let you leave the level.
Right.
Like it'll say, like the first level was rescue so many lost children.
Right. So little
turn on
distress
beacons.
Checkbox side quest kind of things.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
This one, there's some assembly plants for these things, for these enemies that we're supposed to destroy. There's an assembly plant right around here, and I completely missed it while I was going through it. And I'm not going to figure out what it is until we leave the level.
Oh boy.
And we can't do anything here yet.
Oh, that's so disappointing. It had this like purple pyramid and everything. I don't know what I was expecting, but I'm disappointed that we didn't get to see it.
That is a temple that is... it's a temple that's like kind of housing the spirits of our great ancestors. And we give them a feather and they give us power-ups, but we don't have a feather.
Man, that sounds incredibly N64. Something about that.
Yeah, it says it's an eagle feather, but the only birds I've seen in this game have been seagulls, so I'm a little skeptical. Also, that circular saw gets hung up on the geometry quite a bit.
Yeah, it's making quite a ruckus, too.
This is where I first thought the assembly plants were at.
What are they doing? Is that the repair bay then, or what are we looking at?
It's supposed to be building like these guys, but
whoa! Oh, I thought he gibbed. He just cloaked. That would have been incredibly satisfying to see, though. Just like the little thing lands in his head and he just turns into chunks.
The cerebral bore doesn't really chunk them, unfortunately. It does chunk their head.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine, but, you know, it would have been funny to see.
Get a little confused here. Because this is where we can finally do most of the missions that we had. And when I was a kid, this part confused me too. Because, oh, there's our feather.
Found a sacred eagle feather.
This is where one of the other assembly plants is at. But I really didn't know what to do with it as a kid. And it ended up making me return the game because I thought it was glitched.
Oh, that sucks.
Because this says assembly plant computer, so I thought you like needed an item to shut it down, but...
Oh, I bet, yeah, you just gotta shoot it.
You just shoot it.
There you go. Yep, when in doubt, always shoot whatever's flashing, I guess. That's kind of a first-person shooter thing, I guess.
I was not a smart kid, not the tranquilizer.
Man, this guy's messing you up.
I'm trying to show off somewhat of the weapon variety, but the charged dart rifle's just so good.
Oh.
And they drop ammo for it, so...
Nice.
Yeah. Here's why I thought the game was glitched. Because you can pick up these blue laser cells.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a later assembly plant that also has those blue laser cells, and you replace them with red ones. So the red lasers destroy the stuff, the blue lasers, I guess, program it?
Okay. It's some interesting logic, but, you know, suspension of disbelief and all that.
Yeah. So, the later assembly plant has you, since it has you replace the red laser cells, or replace the blue ones with red ones, I had found other red ones, and I thought I was supposed to put them there, but the game never let me put them there.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense then. Because, like, it's the same thing you had to do before, but it's not letting you for some reason. That's kind of messed up design, I guess.
Yeah. So, as a kid, I thought it was glitched, and I returned it and got a new copy.
Did you get as far again and the same thing have that happen again?
Yep.
Oh, man.
But for now, we're going to get a power-up.
The spirits are pleased. As a reward, I grant you the Eye of Truth talisman. Now you may see things which were once invisible to you. Use it well.
Now, there's been a couple of other levels where we saw the talisman pad for these. If you remember earlier in this video, there was that...
Yeah, I remember seeing an eyeball icon kind of thing earlier.
Yeah. This just lets us see walkways that we otherwise wouldn't be able to use.
So they're not just invisible, they don't exist if you can't see them, right?
Correct.
Okay.
You're just... I don't know, I would have liked it if you could walk on, if you could kind of walk on them if you knew where they were at, you just couldn't see them. Because for the most part, they are pretty windy.
Yeah, that would be a sick speedrun strat, I'd imagine. Kind of wondering about speedrun strategies for this game now, though. I don't know, N64 is kind of weird for speedruns, I think. The Doom 64 had this weird thing where if you reset the neutral position of the analog stick to be held backwards, it doesn't... I don't know, the game doesn't account for that, and you can just accelerate, like, basically double speed by, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but analog stick shenanigans can make you go faster in certain games, I guess. It's weird.
I do remember hearing about that, and I think it happens with other N64 games as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that's the only one. So you're using the analog stick to aim and the C buttons to move, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that's... Man, the N64 controller is so weird. That three-pronged design is just so wrong.
I've played exactly one game where I held the left handle.
Exactly.
I think that was Mischief Makers.
I think the one game I played that used that was Pokemon Stadium. Like they had mini games where you had to fling snakes or something. It was a long time ago. Man, I don't really remember.
I remember Pokemon Stadium, but I never played the mini games, or at least if I did, I don't remember them at all.
I pretty much exclusively played the mini games. I didn't like Pokemon very much. Don't know what to say.
I still do.
But
oh well.
Auto turrets, man. Those guys are jerks.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Because now it's saying laser power crystal required. So we could put red ones in there. But we couldn't put red ones in the other one.
Yeah, it's a strange design decision for sure. Oh, I guess that's where you get the... Yep, there you go.
Yep, because if we try to walk through this, it'll just kill us instantly. Except now that it's blue, so it'll just...
Ion capacitor found.
Oh, I
try to reprogram us?
Portal.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be like a force field that just blocked you. And then, like, what was the point of that? You could just take the fuses out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, this is going to get messy, isn't it?
Well, now instead of reprogramming them, it just makes them explode.
Well, alright, okay.
I guess these were made by the same manufacturer that made the Duke Nukem lasers.
Ah.
And now we're at the 4th reactor.
Alright. Time to mess this thing up.
Yeah, it's again got death lasers wandering around it.
And good thing your weapon's auto-aiming for you, because it's literally black back there. That's unfortunate.
I would say that it's a result of the recording, but no, it was black when I was playing too.
Yeah, some N64 games could get really freaking dark.
And really, really laggy when there's explosions.
A nice 6 or 7 frames per second, no problem.
That's partially the cause of, well, let's just jump in the toxic water for now. It's partially caused by, the... Do you remember the little RAM expansion that they had for the N64?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This is one of the few games that can use it, and all it does is give you high-res textures.
Oh, nice. Did you have that installed, or...
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, good. Whatever.
So, it does give you high-res textures, but at the cost of hitting the frame rate a little bit.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So, wait, would it run better if you didn't have the expansion installed?
A little bit, yeah.
Huh, that's strange. See, I think I would prefer it to run better than to have higher res textures, but maybe that's just me.
Ordinarily, I would say yes, but it doesn't. It's not a huge.
Oh, it's like 9 or 10 frames per second instead of 7 when it gets laggy.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was close.
Yeah, I've had a. Actually, I didn't have any runs ended to these lasers. And we have a deviously hidden necessary secret.
Necessary secrets, eh?
Do you remember the force field buttons I said we needed to find?
Yes.
One of them's back here.
Oh boy.
And that's 3 of 4.
Alright. One more to go. So the torpedo launcher, is that just to help you accelerate through the water, or does it have like a weapon function?
It does both. It's mostly used to help you get through the water faster, but it does fire things as well.
Alright, nice.
But you can't use it outside of the water at all.
Yeah, I kind of noticed you were only pulling that out in the water, so it makes sense on some level.
Certain weapons rather are above water weapons. Other weapons are not above water weapons.
Yeah, sure.
But we'll have to wait till next time for that portal.
Alright.
Later.
Goodbye.